When I grow up, I want to be a fucking rock star! Yeah!
Everyone understands why people love metal, rock and roll, but no one understands why people hate metal and rock and roll.
Metal, love it or hate it. Why do people love or hate metal? And most of all, what is it that makes our culture the way it is today? With interviews from established industry experts, family members and rockers themselves, I am hoping to establish all of what is aforementioned and more, and to show you my way of life.
I love heavy metal because when you're feeling down, when you're feeling blue, the right song can really pick you up.
Metal is the most fucking diverse music in the world.
It's, unless you're into the music, if you don't, you're not really gonna know what I'm talking about. But
I'm Keith, and I'm from, where am I from?
South Africa.
I'm apparently from South Africa tonight.
The right sort of music, the right song at the right time can really sort your mood out. Do you know what I mean?
I do like to rock.
There's no words to describe metal. It's just beyond words, it's just feeling.
I'm 63.
I've been into metal since I was breastfeeding, mate.
Hi there, my name is Paul Mackenzie. I'm an artist and graphic designer. I work mainly for bands, especially metal bands. And at the moment I'm doing artwork for Tesseract, Monuments, and in the past I've worked for bands like Franco and Tankers to Henge. Yeah, I think art plays definitely a big role in metal culture and the metal scene, because I think nowadays we're seeing a focus more on merchandise and more on actually selling merchandise as a means to keep the band afloat, as opposed to selling music. You know, there's still album covers and things, people are still doing album covers, but I think a lot less effort is put into the actual album cover itself, and a lot more effort, time and money is spent on the merchandise side of things. And also it's quite important having, you know, a flashy MySpace and everything. Everyone has super good designs for their MySpace these days and their website and stuff. And I think there's quite a lot of work for artists now. I think a lot more than there actually was before the whole like digital thing came in. Usually the type of artwork I do is quite dark, quite disturbing, taking influence from a lot of mainly metal band artists and the music of metal bands, the metal scene around me, and a lot of kind of quite creepy imagery. Dreams as well. I take a lot of my artwork from dreams that I have.
If I was to sum up rock in one sentence.
In all its glory.
In all its glory.
There's no genre of music that can contest.
I would say it's passion in its purest form.
That's pretty much it, to be honest.
Heavy metal gives you life.
In depth, in tune to your feelings, and fucking amazing.
When the guitars are screaming and the bass is thumping that hypnotic beat, and when the drums are beating faster than your own heart ever could, that's when you're only truly alive. The best. Anything else is a pale imitation. Except for rock and roll, maybe.
Heavy metal is basically a form of rock music that appeared in, you know, the late 60s, that's based on using more guitar distortion than other forms of rock had before. It's usually a little less focused on melody than other forms of rock, but that's not as a criticism of it, it's just less. It tends to be a little less melodic. Lyrics tends to focus on perhaps the, you know, the darker end of life and experience and thought, and usually this is one thing that separates it from other forms of heavier rock music. It tends to have a very male sort of focus to it. Most of the bands tend to be men, more so than other forms of music, and the attitude of it can be very masculine and verging on macho sometimes. It's always good to be into music that your parents hate, and things that are loud and aggressive are going to annoy your parents if you play them very loudly. Stereotypes that I know of heavy metal fans, and you know, all my friends know this as well, is that they're some of the nicest people that you'll meet. They're very, very friendly and very non-aggressive. And I think part of what metal does is because the music's very, very aggressive, and going to gigs, it can seem very aggressive from the outside. It's a way to get out those emotions in quite a healthy context. Whereas there's some people that get those out in other ways, like drinking 10 pints of Stella and having a fight. You don't normally get metal fans doing that.
Metal is the term given to the genre of music, but specifically for those who listen to it, it's far more a culture and a way of life as well. It's something that can unite a whole amount of people, as shown by the millions who go to festivals every year. I like metal because it gives me a release from the actual world. The songs have lyrics that you can actually relate to, and there's so much aggression and power in the music and passion, and it actually takes talent to make. I listen to all types of metal, but I prefer the heavier stuff along lines of death metal, because there's just so much passion and anger behind it, and you can, like when the fans get together, it's such a community. You can be in a mosh pit and just beat the shit out of each other for hours, and then come out at the end and still like each other at the end, shake hands and everything. There's just a huge culture. Everyone looks out for each other as well. And even though everyone comes under the banner of metal, there's just such a variation in it.
Music makes the world go round. Some people like classical music, some people like jazz music, some people like traditional jazz music, some people like pop music, and some people, of course, like heavy rock and metal. And I think it's all fairly distributed around who likes what and why they like it. They like it because it gives them a buzz.